This is the Can We Talk podcast, episode 118. I have a special guest in the building, someone that you may recall from episode 100. Brittany's back. Unfortunately, that episode's audio was really bad. I got super drunk, guys, as I've mentioned many times, but it was still a great episode, full of fun.
Definitely was.
But yeah, let's get right into the shit. Not the shit that we're going to talk about, because these are some brand new sneakers that are real and eBay certified.
Right.
eBay certified sneakers on right goddamn now. Mm-hmm. You can even check the insoles. But let's jump into some restaurant shit. Not the restaurant shit we're going to talk about, because I know why people are going to want to listen to this, but we're not going to give that to them early on, right?
No.
Yeah, we can't do that.
We do got to give the people what they want. We have to.
Eventually. Or barely. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but...
Hey, guys. Oh, I was on episode 92. I was with the other day.
Shit.
Episode 92 with me and Kawana. Hey, girl.
That's actually true. I completely forgot about that.
We made it out the group chat. It only took a whole year. It's been a year since I did my first recording with you, but we here now.
No, for sure. And there's some things that we could probably like touch on that we may have not been able to when there's three people in. Right? When there's two of us, we can just kind of talk about whatever the fuck we want, and not have to go back to back in conversation. So I think last time, or not the last time, but the time before last, I guess is the episode you're mentioning, number 92. Shout out to 92.
Yes.
Episodes. Some people only got 5. Never mind. But we can talk about some things that we actually touched on in that episode.
Oh, we can definitely.
Because it's coming back to me now that you said 92.
Oh, yeah. We can definitely talk back. We can definitely. Because the Kiki Palmer situation.
Yes. Yeah. We could definitely talk about it and how she as well as Chris Brown and
here we go.
Your women or men going to these shows is committing what we call premeditated cheating with the intent to sell ass.
If you don't want to be in a relationship and if you don't want to get married, just say that. Just say that.
There are some fundamental. Me and Kay did have this conversation on her birthday because she's a huge Chris Brown fan. She said, quoted to her, she said, if she goes there and her man leaves her, that gives her more room to go get Chris Brown.
She not finna get Chris Brown.
You can't tell her that.
Man, Chris Brown is a celebrity. It's entertainment. And I remember on episode 92, I remember saying, know your person, like know the foundation of y'all's relationship. If you can't trust your partner to go out and have a good time and feel like Chris Brown gonna snatch them up, I think y'all need to go back and readdress some things. Because is this really a relationship? Like, you really tripping about Chris Brown? I'm not gonna ever see this man again. You act like he finna come knock at the door and ask if he can come inside or something. Like, I don't understand that. That's insecurity.
I don't think that's insecure to not want your woman to be bent over with another nigga. Because you wouldn't like Keisha from the block bent over in front of me in the picture.
But it happens though. It happens. My man gonna go to a concert. It's Meg Thee Stallion called, and she called my man up on the stage, and she bouncing and shaking it. I'm not finna break up with him. I'm not finna call it. Oh, you got serenaded by Meg Thee Stallion. It's over. I don't want to be your woman anymore. The hell?
I mean, I personally wouldn't do that. Like, out of respect for the woman I was dealing with.
Man, come on.
I mean, ass is ass. There's mad asses everywhere. So, like, I can turn down ass. I don't care whose ass
Would
it is.
it be different if it was just a regular person?
No, it wouldn't. It doesn't matter. No ass is touching me if I'm in a relationship.
Now, on episode 92, what you said was you wouldn't mind if T.I. did it because T.I. wasn't all that attractive and he didn't select very attractive women. So you wouldn't mind if your woman went and got serenaded by T.I.
I think serenaded is different from taking a picture of your ass on Chris Brown or a celebrity. I think it's a little different. I mean, serenading is like some Usher shit, right? Like some singing to you, you're cute, cool. He not picking you up.
Okay.
There's a little difference. I personally just don't want my chick to be picked up by another nigga.
So if Janet Jackson wanted to give you a hug, that's like a
hug is
personal
cool.
hug and take pictures, you wouldn't do it.
No.
Man, come on.
No,
you're not gonna ever be this close to this woman ever again, and you would turn down Janet Jackson. You would turn down a picture with Janet Jackson.
I'm not talking about turning down a picture. I'm talking about a picture. You wouldn't see me with Janet Jackson bent over.
You gonna give her a church hug?
Yeah, for sure. Out of respect for my relationship. Now, if I'm not in a relationship, that's different. When I'm in a relationship, that won't happen.
I mean, but what does it really do to the relationship?
It's just my preference. We talked about preferences earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to shit on people who do those things. Just not for me. Like, I just wouldn't want my partner to be in those compromising positions.
So you feel like if your partner, basically what you're saying, what I'm getting from this is, if your partner went to the Chris Brown concert and he picked her up like, you know, she belonged to him, that would equate to her. If she did it with Chris Brown, she basically would do it with anybody else. I'm
just saying the women that I'm into wouldn't do that, like, at all, across the board. I don't care about the picture. So people get the picture ideal incorrect. I don't care about the picture. I care about what the picture looks like, because first of all, that's why it's premeditated. You know you're going to bend your ass over on Chris Brown, and you know your nigga not going to like it, but you're going to do it, and you're going to be like, hey.
How you know it's premeditated?
Y'all be premeditating like a motherfucker.
How you know? You can be nervous and just do whatever. It's spontaneous. It's a picture.
No, that line is long. You're not sitting.
She's like, I'm see how far I can go with Chris Brown.
Absolutely.
He don't smack my ass on.
Absolutely. You spend $1,000. You definitely are entitled to do that. But yeah, I don't want my chick doing that. Other chicks can do that. Again, that's perfectly fine. I'm not bashing that. And if they niggas let them do that, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, but I think that it was a little far stretch that old dude just called off his whole wedding, though.
But did you read the details to that shit?
No, I didn't. Because after he did that, I mean, he was out of there for me. So what were the details?
So in the vows, she said, like, unless it's Chris Brown type shit, like, to death do us apart unless Chris Brown. Like, in the vows.
So he didn't know who he was dealing with in the first place. That's wild.
That's why he called that. That's why it was called off, because of the vows. Why you gonna put another nigga name in the vows, bro?
Why did they even make it down? Why did they even make it that far?
Same reason niggas let Chris Brown take pictures.
Man,
it's the same exact reason. Secure
somebody
niggas.
Got to take it. He knew what he was dealing with. Somebody got to take accountability somewhere.
Secure niggas
in that whole situation, because he read that thing. He knew that Chris Brown was gonna be the exception to the rule. That would have been a no for me.
On the first go, like, that's the first, like, you don't hear vows prior to vows from your partner. It's not scripted. Like, this is the first time you're hearing this sentence.
So they were already married.
They were getting married. Like, you know how you read your vows at the altar? Uh-huh. Chris Brown was in her speech.
Oh, so he called it off, like, at the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he didn't call it off because she took a photo.
No,
this was prior.
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that was never wifey material. They shouldn't have made it that far. But you know, to each is their own. That's why you gotta know who you dealing with. You gotta know.
For sure. And even in business, right? I think a lot. So one of the things, that car be doing donuts over there, like, in the parking lot. Because there's, like, mad space.
Everybody get your roll on. Everybody get your roll on.
Like, and I say this too, like, majority of the podcast listeners aren't from Austin, even though majority of the people who come on the pod are in Austin or surrounding areas.
Right.
Or if they're transplants from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So a person, I don't know the person's name or anything like that, basically just alluded that we don't support black businesses here in this Austin and surrounding areas. And I can say this, right? For the most part, I feel like we do. I feel like anytime something comes up, like any kind of restaurant, because I'm a big food guy, that's just my shit. Like, any black owned restaurant that does pop up, I'm not just the only go to black restaurants on that random Tuesday 5 years ago. I don't know when that was, but I will actually go.
50 cent wings. 50 cent wing night.
I will for sure go try a new black owned restaurant anytime one's brought to my attention.
Right.
And I'll go try black business. I like working with black people. Like, I prefer it, first of all.
Right.
But there are people who feel like we don't as a community support each other around here? You're a business owner. You can speak to it.
Yes. So this is always a touchy topic for me because I've dealt with it firsthand, and then I am born and raised from East Austin, 78724, my 24 baby. But it most definitely, we could be better. Mm-hmm. I have a harder time getting support from Black Austin than I do other races and other cities. Mm-hmm. I tried to do business with a couple of Black individuals, nonprofits, and just other Black corporations here. And I've been treated like straight dog shit. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna even hold you. I'm not gonna put their names out there, but it's some of your local faves, and it's people that are active community leaders that you would think are supportive of small businesses or small individuals trying to make a difference in the community. We could be better about supporting. I do see a lot of support from like populars. You know, if you got a name in Austin, you gonna get the support, and it doesn't matter what you do. You always gonna have a good turnout. But if nobody knows who you are, you trying to put an event together, you may or you may not have people showing up. And what I've noticed is a lot of the new like Black transplants that come into Austin, they've created all these different networking groups, right? Mm-hmm. And they get so oversaturated with the people that are already in Austin, and they kind of learn like real quickly who you mess with and who you don't mess with. Mm-hmm. And I hate that dynamics for us as a culture, but you see us more so just supporting those who we feel like again have those big names for themselves. And then you have people like me. I've been in business for 6 years. I support the community a lot. I do a lot for the homeless. I do a lot for veterans, elderly, college students. And you would never know it. And it's crazy. We don't promote as heavy as we should, but we out here. And because I think I've gone to a couple of like different networking events, and you kind of see that the support, it isn't genuine. You more so go to the networking event trying to size up and see who's who and who's doing what. And it's like, okay, this is not genuine. So I kind of step back from doing the networking thing. But I do agree that we could be better about supporting, you know, popular and unpopular businesses here in Austin. I can tell you, I can go to Houston right now and get hella love and get hella business opportunities, but I'm not from Houston. I want to have that support here. So I definitely, it's happening. It's a huge elephant in the room that people don't really talk about, but it's happening. And there are a lot of like bigger Black businesses here in Austin that are hurting smaller businesses. And I've had a couple of larger Black owned businesses like take opportunities from my business, and we've kind of had to shift and change dynamics and change directions of how we maneuver. And then I gotta watch now who I'm talking to, because then it's like, okay, well, who do you trust, who do you not trust? But just the overall support, I feel like I could have it more. And it's not one of those pick me things. It's from personal experience of dealing with certain individuals and companies and organizations here in Austin. We could do better. And you know, a lot of these people too, like their friends and their family, so they will support and they'll push you. It's almost like, you know, you pick and choose who you want to support. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we could do that a little bit more often for everybody that is trying to be an entrepreneur or do something positive, you know, for the community, especially the Black community, for sure.
No, I 1,000% agree with that. Right. So just for me, in my experience with like working with certain people, a lot of people are way too, I guess the word would be what's the word? Optimistic? Not that word, but like
opportunistic.
Yes, that.
Opportunist.
Versus being genuine in support. Like people will gaslight the shit out of you across the board.
Yep.
if there's an opportunity. If there's not an opportunity, they're like, why would I support? Like,
right.
And there's a lot of podcasts that are coming up right now. There's a lot of people that I've worked with, right? And again, I've never expected to have, like, anything I do for somebody, I don't expect a return. I'm legitimately doing this because I fuck with you and I want your shit to be lit, legitimately. So once when they get a certain little buzz or whatever, it becomes like, oh, that person never helped you at all. Like, like I was like, you was on episode such and such, bro. Like, I was the first pod you ever was on ever. Right. And but you're such a vulture. Like, people be vultures. They're just looking for the opportunity to cling on to somebody. No one wants to build their own shit.
It's a lot of that. it's a lot of that. Like, there was a networking group, and it was going really, really well. And the lady that started it, very, very sweet lady, very nice lady. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, I hope she doesn't get caught up, like, in the hype. And she did a few different networking events, and I started seeing all of the people that I knew about and what I knew that they were on every event, more and more of the people that were already from Austin just coming to see what she had going on and what she was doing. And now it's just kind of like, now they starting to do their own networking groups, and they, they're trying to do their own thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, but you wasn't on that at first.
Yeah, but like,
don't do that.
Yeah, for sure. But like, still, like, I think us as a community, we have a issue paying homage to where we got the information. Right.
You hit the nail on it.
we love to take from us, right? But we don't love to give us credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, again, that could sound like that could be a weird take to certain people. They'd be like, man, I was planning on doing this before I met you. Right. Which could possibly be the truth, right? But we know it's not.
Definitely know it's not.
Like, we know the truth, and it's okay. Right. Like, it's okay to say, hey, I did this because of such and such. Right. Whether they can think they can do it better, that's cool. If you see something I'm doing and you like, I can go ahead and elevate that. Right. But appreciate you, Cal, for giving me a little base. Right. Or vice versa. Like, hey, Cal, I know you did that. That's dope as hell. Shit, I'm about to get on my grind and let me see where I can take it. Right. It'd be like, my shit better than his right now.
Yeah, they make it weird. Then it's like all of a sudden now it's beef and y'all not talking. Like, ow. Like, you really wasn't on it until like you created that platform for somebody, and then they took it and ran with it and then forgot where they came from. Yes, it's definitely it's a lot of that. Or it's like, somebody like, I want you to be good, just not better than me. Like,
exactly. I don't want
help you, but I'm
gonna
only help you so much. Like, when somebody asks me for some help or some information, like, I give them step by step. This is what you do, right?
Oh, you don't know how many DMs how many messages I've sent. Like, people have asked me about podcasting, and I've given the exact truth. Right. I've given them exactly what I wish I knew when I started. Right. And then they don't do it. That's
what it is. I always tell people, like, I wish I had somebody like me. Like, when I first started business, like, I didn't have half of the knowledge and the resources and the help that I have now. And it's like, I'm sitting here giving you basically the plays to dang playbook. So
step by step, bro.
All you need to do is follow these steps. I think where the difference is, it's like, I give you the information. Now it's on you to actually follow through. Right now, if you don't follow through, they don't got nothing to do with me. But you can't say that I never help. And then, but people just get super weird. It's just super.
They want that.
And I've only experienced it with black people. I have experienced that with any other race, and there's no other race that has had an issue with helping me. Any type of business opportunities, anything that Boss Lady has tried to like elevate on through other cultures. When I say giving me like, oh, well, here's a contact number for such and such, direct contact. I gotta go through this. I gotta go through this website. I have to, when I talk to our people, I get all these different phone numbers. Nobody answers the phone. Nobody calls back. Nobody answers emails.
Everybody they got a person for that. Yeah, for sure.
It's wild. It's wild. It's like I got to jump through hoops to not only get the support, but also to get any information or resources that are going to be beneficial. I believe there's this one lady, she made a reel on it on Instagram, and she says that Black people are overly mentored and underfunded. And it's so true, because I deal with that like right now. Like, I don't want to go to another networking event. I don't want to go to another conference and just be talked to death. Where's the money?
No, for sure.
Where the money at?
For sure. Like again, it's that ideal of like, we can't join each other because like doing that makes what you're doing less than somehow. Like, and
it's crazy because it doesn't.
Doesn't.
It's so many. And like, even with my business, like when I first started, it wasn't that many mobile laundry businesses in Austin. Now it's like 10 different mobile laundry businesses in Austin. Like, I'm still getting business. It's so much money out here. So there's no reason why we all can't eat together and provide each other with the resources and support each other the way that we all really truly deserve and need. It can be discouraging too, because it's like, well, hell, who do I go to?
No, for sure. Like, even, and I keep saying for sure because you're right on the nail, right? Like, I could see a vision of like all us there's a lot of podcasts out here. Like, if we were all doing each other's shows like consistently, just building and building and building, like you bring my fans to your shit, I'll bring my fans to your shit, and we'll just do this shit once a month. I'll go to your pod, you go to my pod, we'll do this. We'll go to a different location, but it's this stalemate of like, I have to compete with him. I have to compete with them. I have to compete with her.
I'm not
for
doing
no
that.
reason. Me either. Like, that's why there's some weird people who always hit my line on pod, and I'm just like, I don't think you really want to like kick it with me. I think you just want the look. Right.
Or you want me to do all the hard work, like help you get set up, help you to get everything, like tell you where to go. Like, you want me to do all the hard work so you can just dive right on in and start recording, but you don't actually want to do something together.
They won't take. So I will sit there if someone hits my line and is like, hey, Calvin, I want to start a podcast. I'm like, fuck yeah, do it. I want everyone to have a podcast.
Right.
All right. So let me tell you this. Like, I'll write paragraphs of shit. And I'll be like, well, you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to do this. You want to do this first, do that first. But they'll get told by somebody else who has no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just go do this and you good. And they go do this and they're not good because they don't follow the steps. And I'm not saying my steps are the right steps for everyone, but there's steps that got me here. Consistency, testing equipment, like all that stuff. I can't be like, hey, go get all of this right here and just make it happen.
Yeah. And I 100% agree, because I definitely came with you with the idea of the podcast, Queen Social. And we learned very, very quickly that like, if you don't have the consistency, like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then just everything for me and everything with her, like stuff was just happening so fast. It was like, okay, we got to take a step back and you got to make the time.
Absolutely.
You got to make time.
If you want a podcast, you have to do it. Like, you have to do it consistently.
Right.
When I first started, shout out to Brittany Hill and Raven Brown. So they were my two first co-hosts on this version of the podcast. I had a podcast before this. Right. Did 15 episodes. Pandemic happened. I ultimately decided to say, hey, I'm going to scrap all 15 of these episodes. We're going to redo this shit.
Right.
And with Brittany and Raven, we recorded every single fucking Thursday for months. Every Thursday. And we all worked. We all had jobs.
Right.
We were all in my little tiny apartment recording every single fucking Thursday for months.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? Whether we got 5 views, a view, 0 views, we didn't care. Like, that was never the goal to start the pod. I didn't start the pod like, hey, I want to get views. I want to be clipped up. I want recognition. I want to go viral all the time. It was like, can we just create a safe space that people can come in here and just talk and hang out? Can we do that without getting our backs kicked in on the internet?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we learned that real quick. And then I think our biggest thing too was people wanted the visual, because we started off audio and I loved audio because
audio is so much more important than visual. The first 38 episodes, or first 26 episodes of the pod, there's no video.
Yeah.
All audio.
Audio, see? And I love it because I'm sitting at the house in my damn drawers recording.
That's where you're comfortable at. I tell people all the time.
I was comfortable talking about we were at home, and then like when we were getting the feedback, it was like, we love the concept, we love what y'all are talking about, but we want to see y'all. And I'm like, well, we have a space, but the thing again is like, I'm, at this point, I was looking for a house, and just so much stuff started happening, and my son's in football, so I was like, okay, I don't have the time. So
absolutely,
we took a little step back, but one day,
absolutely,
Lord willing.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have actually ever done video unless tons of people were like, Calvin, we want an episode. Like, we want to see visuals. Like, literally, like, so the audio based shit, like when I first started doing audio, the landscape was completely different on podcasting. I was getting paid to podcast in the beginning. So, cause it was very early on. This was like 2019, 2020.
Okay.
So the landscape of podcasting is completely different. Cause back then there was these podcast platforms that wanted you to come on here and give ads about them. So we would get paid for those, right? Not a lot of money. I'm talking like 10, 15 bucks an episode. Nothing crazy. But I would just reinvest that into the pod.
Right.
And I always focused on the audio aspect. I was like, I don't really care if people know what I look like or don't look like. They probably don't, because a lot of times people are not listening to podcasts looking at it. Right. It's in their ear. They're doing dishes. They're cleaning. They're cooking. They're moving furniture. Like, they're not watching shit proactively. So I was like, if I can master the audio shit, the video will come. And eventually videos did come, and views it got to that point. But like, it was.
Did your views go up when you started doing visuals?
I would say that the audio versions of things went down. I think everything to this point now is consistent.
Right.
And I don't think I got good at this aspect till like 50 episodes in.
Right.
Like, I look at myself back then, like, another thing that I've always told people about, like, the podcasting, again, for me is never about the views and stuff. It's about the ability to go back in time and hear yourself.
Right.
Because I disagree with myself often. Like, episode 14, who the fuck is that?
Right.
Like, I could disagree. I can't disagree enough with that person at that point in time.
Yeah.
Right now. But yeah, I tell people all the time, audio is so much more important, but they look at these mega podcasts that are getting millions and millions of views every episode. But I'm like, you don't even know what they had to do. I modeled my podcast after starts, not where they are now. Right. Like, I'll give Joe Budden a fucking shout out. His first 50 episodes are only audio.
Wow.
This is a guy who gets millions upon millions of views across platforms every single week. His shit started with just audio, looping photos, audio, literally. But you have to want it. You have to want to do it. People want to get a podcast and be like, all right, cool. I've done the work. I've started it. We're good. Instead of like looking into, what do you really want to talk about? Is relationships all you want to talk about all the time?
Definitely not. Do you feel like the Austin community supports the podcast?
Oh, no one. No. So I would say the majority of people who listen to this podcast are not Austin based.
Okay.
Like, completely not from here.
That's crazy. Like, that's wild, because
shout out to the white dudes who watch the pod. You are loved. We
shout
appreciate
out to you, Roger. Shout out to you, Blake. So, and that's the thing though, and it's crazy. The episodes I've watched a lot of the episodes. You have a lot of popular locals on the podcast, so it's like, dang, that's wild.
It's
like,
hate. It's hate.
I know at least 10.
I'm telling you, it's hate, right?
That's crazy.
It's become to the point where, like, because I don't say yes to everybody.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, I have to want to talk to you. Like, I don't care huge. How many I've had people on here with millions of followers. I have people on here with hundreds of thousands of followers across socials. I have people here with 5 followers.
Yeah.
I want to talk to
Shout out to my 5 followers.
I want to talk to whoever the fuck I want to talk to.
Right.
I don't like, you can't, people will DM me like, hey, I'm 10,000 up on Instagram. You should have me on the pod. I don't want to talk to you. Like, I want to talk to who I want to talk to. And that's a lot of the reason why a lot of people don't fuck with me from here. Because, like, even if you hit me on some, hey, I have this, and this, I don't give a fuck
because
what you got.
Authentic. We're not on, people don't, everything about social media sometimes it's just fake.
I can play the celebrity games. I can play I'm not bragging. I know a lot of people in a lot of different industries.
Yeah.
Like I know a ton of people in radio here, right? And it's not hate. Like I just like to talk to who I like to talk to, and when I want to talk to them, right? A lot of people, again, if they had as many episodes as I had, they would have thought that at some point in time I compromised that, and I never have. Like if I don't want to talk to you, I legit won't.
You can't, because I think that you have a specific vision for the podcast, and that also comes with who you allow on the podcast. So that's a big deal. You definitely have to think about the type of energy that you allow into your space.
I've turned down some nasty work. I showed her a DM a while ago. I turned down some nasty work, like some really popular people who are in a lot of trouble with the law who want to come tell their story.
I cannot. I cannot.
Would that episode go crazy? Absolutely it would. Yeah. Do I give a fuck? No.
Yeah. I mean, because you have to think about what that ultimately does to the podcast, and then what direction it takes it in. So it's like, we're not gonna do that.
We're not the Can We Talk to a Predator podcast. just saying. Just saying that.
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
Speaking of, I'm just playing.
I ain't got enough wine for this today. I don't have enough wine. But I
wouldn't transition like that. That's crazy.
I can't.
That's crazy.
I just can't.
Can we just give some positive shout outs to Munch Munch again?
I'm definitely going to stop by Munch Munch because I'm not too far from Munch Munch.
Shout out to Sierra or C or whatever your pseudonym name is for the
Hill,
book.
Texas.
No, the food is great. I've talked about it before, but it's great.
Yeah, so that was one of the things that we were on the 4 episodes that we did record. We made sure to like shout out somebody, on each episode. But I think we just overall, just reeling all of it back in, we just need to support each other more. I think now with how hard times are becoming, and it takes courage to do anything. Yeah. Start a podcast, start a business, deal with mental health, like all of those things. It takes courage to do that.
Absolutely.
And knowing that you have somebody in your corner, you're going to have your challenges and you'll have your bumps in the road, but knowing that you got a group of people out there that genuinely want to see you win and want to see you eat. And I think that's been my thing. Like, I want to see everybody win, right? And it's enough opportunity out here. I have a couple of friends, when I come across an opportunity, shout out to Anastasia, dope female MC here in Austin, Texas. But when I come across any type of opportunity, and I know somebody that does what the opportunity is, like I'll shoot them the link, like just whatever I can do to, for one, like I see you, because I think that was one of the things that was kind of challenging for me. Like I feel like I'm not being seen, and at some point I just got to the point where I don't give a damn if y'all don't see me because I'm still getting paid. Okay, I'm getting paid. But for new upcoming entrepreneurs, knowing that the Austin community, the Black Austin community, supports you, and you have those resources, so that you don't take an epic fall within 2 weeks of grand opening.
Grand closing.
It's good. The grand finale.
Season finale type shit.
And now for the rest of the story. But no season knowing 2. That you have that support system and that you're taking a step into a direction that not a lot of people are successful in or succeed in, it's good to have that. Yeah. So
yeah, it's always a preference based thing, right?
Right.
It's who you align with. I think that's probably the best way to explain that, because like I understand supporting us all together. I 1000% understand that, right? But we also have to align because we're not monolithic. Like we all not all are the same. We weren't raised the same. Like I know it's feels that way at the cookout and on Thanksgiving when we eat the same exact food we've been eating for 47 years.
Right.
I understand that, but like there still has to be enough niches that are out there that we can all gravitate to. I understand that we want to have that one hub for each industry and we all want to be able to gravitate towards it, but there's a respectful way to have two hubs and these hubs aren't fighting. There's a respectful way. And
I 1,000% agree with that.
we don't understand that. It's not one or the other. It's which aligns with you better.
Right.
It's not a popularity fucking contest. We're fucking 30.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing right now?
It's a lot of unhealed trauma out here.
Trauma bonding friendships last forever.
Yeah. Or if, you're being friends with the enemy to keep up with the enemy to make sure that they not outdoing you.
No, absolutely.
But no, I 1,000% agree with that, because there are a lot of people too that I just kind of just took a step back from because they don't align with the direction that I'm going in. And I did feel like you would be happier if I didn't succeed than for me to move forward.
People are tuning in every day.
I agree with that for 100%. Like, I felt like at some point I was having a hard time even like making new friends and just kind of being out there meeting new people. But it's just like, I got a certain goal and I have a certain vision, and you are who you surround yourself with. And that's even with trying to progress and move forward in business. You definitely want to align all of those things with, you definitely want to be with people that you are aligned with, and y'all are, they not that they have the same vision, but they understand where you're trying to go, and they can help to push you to get there.
I know so many people who are in the same friend groups that they grew up with and have done nothing different. Like, you know how roller coasters is like life? They shit is just on coast.
Yeah.
They don't do nothing different. They're not even at the wheel at this point. And when you tell them that, because I'm not the friend you can come to with some bullshit.
Right.
If you are doing some stupid shit, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
And I hate to be that friend, that I'm that friend, but oftentimes me being that friend results in we not being friends no more.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly fine. Like, I understand.
Players fuck up too.
I understand that this friend group that you're in says yes to everything and is like, man, you good. Like, you're not doing nothing wrong. It's him, it's her, it's them, it's whatever. If you do some fuck shit, I'm going to tell you the fuck shit. Like, and I hope that you tell me the same.
We actually need more of that. I think if we had more of that, we may there may be a lot more support.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
you'd have more genuine, honest
conversation.
Conversation. Like, we need more of that. I'm definitely that friend. Like, my two friends that I do have, they know. Like, we tell each other about ourselves all the time. But again, there's a way that you deliver that message to, and they know that it's coming from a place, it's coming from a place of love and support, and not because you're trying to tear them down or anything like that. So
yeah, for sure. That's a better transition than Predator. So feedback, right? So we have come across a restaurant that exists. And again, everything I'm going to say is going to be grace-based. So I don't plan on using the name of the restaurant. I don't plan on using names or anything like that. I'm just going to take the knowledge that I have from the situation and provide it to you guys. So there's a local restaurant. I live in Pflugerville. I grew up in Pflugerville. There's a local restaurant where food may or may not be good. At this point, I don't think I'll ever try it because of certain reviews. This particular owner or owners, I don't really know any of the details of what that looks like. But this particular owner is not very receptive to feedback. Mm-hmm. I'll probably actually put some reviews in the thumbnail if I'm really going to be honest. To be a little
to be transparent.
To be transparent
about.
But I won't. Again, not going to say the name of the restaurant. But this particular owner is just not receptive to feedback. They're going in on customers who are providing feedback from their experience, and they're being told some very, very negative and disrespectful things back. And me being in the culinary space,
right,
just in the cooking realm, or me being in just the aspect of being an actual foodie, like, I can tell you over the last 10 years, I've maybe tried anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 different restaurants for the first time. So that's outside of me going to Cheddar's every 45 days. This is different. This is brand new restaurants or restaurants. Shout out to my discount. Hey.
Not the one in Pflugerville.
Shout out to, hey, gets the job done 9 times out of 10.
I cannot.
There's stories about that, and we could talk about that, but we dogpiling on a different restaurant. But anyway, so like this particular owner, he's going nuts on these reviews, right? Being really disrespectful, and I don't align with that. Again, like I mentioned just now, like I'm in the culinary space, I'm in the foodie category. I'm probably the biggest foodie most people would personally know, right?
Right.
I'm a very big person on trying brand new foods, whether it be a brand new black-owned restaurant or just a brand new restaurant across the board, because I want the experience, right? I will not be going to this particular restaurant because of those reviews.
Right.
And I know you actually ate at this restaurant.
I did.
And I do want to get a better understanding of what that looks like for you.
So we didn't go inside. However, we had so they're across the street from my son's football field where they practice, and we wanted to have a little snacky snack. And so we saw this place, and one of the moms went over. I'm trying to say it gracefully. But one of the moms went over and she sent me over the menu. Mm-hmm. The menu
was nuts.
The menu took me. Okay. The menu prices, it took me. Because to pay that much money for the food, if I'm gonna pay $20-some, I better get $20 worth of food. So we waited a good 30 minutes for 6 pieces of wings, and I kid you not, like 20 fries. We split them fries.
Don't you count the fries?
I counted the fries because it was so little. I go to other places and we get fries, and it's just like the fries fill up the little container. Like the fries didn't even fill up the to-go container, but the chicken was not all that great. It definitely could have used a little bit of seasoning, and you can definitely tell because I'm from Texas.
HEB.
You can tell that the owner was not from Texas. It was not Texas seasoning, okay? But overall, I did not actually communicate with the owner, but I definitely highly would recommend. So when I saw you post that you were gonna try it out, I said, "Don't do it."
The floodgates.
Don't do it.
The floodgates. I'll say this: my DMs is nasty. It's some weird shit that happens.
And you know, the
DMs.
only reason I told you not to do it was because I know you're a foodie.
Yeah.
And you're a food critic. You know, you're gonna go and try
I'm
that.
not a food critic.
I don't want you to waste your time. I'm gonna let you know. Don't waste your time. And really, too, it was the money. Like I felt like it wasn't. I think we spent $25. I didn't have no $25 plate.
Maybe you need a payment plan.
It wasn't $25 plate.
Payment plan. Apparently, the
plate wasn't. The food wasn't even worth the payment plan.
Layaway on chicken is nuts.
It's a chicken plate for a chicken plate on layaway. I cannot.
Do I pay for it before?
Cannot. Can I make 3 payments?
I made 3 payments at Kmart.
It was the cat. No, I had to. No, there is because I do have the menu, and there was just one that just really stood out to me, and I was like, "Nah, y'all wild for this."
And again, I want to say this as well because the Grace is coming in now. The Grace wasn't where I said it was going to be. I said we're going to start with Grace. We're going to probably do it in the middle. I just think that like food prices are food prices, right? Like the aspect of it is all about the communication. Mm-hmm. Me being in the culinary space, me being in the restaurant space for as long as I have, there's 2 forms of communication from a restaurant to a consumer. One is how you're treated in the restaurant. Mm-hmm. If that's great, cool. 2 is how you're treated outside of the restaurant, mm-hmm. which is providing a review. Right. I think that people who cannot take criticism should not be in the culinary space. I have been told certain food that I've made maybe wasn't on par. Cool. That's perfectly fine. I understand it. Maybe I underseasoned the carrots that one time. Maybe I underseasoned the rice this one time. But I'm going to take that, and now, best believe, the next 20 rices and 20 carrots are going to be fucking perfect. You know why? Because I'm paying attention to detail. Because I heard your response, and I'm going to give you some kind of response back that makes sense. Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry the carrots were underseasoned this time. That's not our standard here. Let's go ahead, have you back in. Carrots on me, whatever, rice on me, whatever on me, because we're going to make sure that your experience, not only outside of the restaurant, but inside of the restaurant, is going to be made perfect. And I think a lot of restaurants that are startups or not franchisees or don't have a script of how to do this, they don't understand the second aspect. They're so focused on what the experience is inside the restaurant. Anything outside of it is irrelevant to them.
They worried about the money too.
Absolutely. We all are.
They worried about like how they're worried about like how far they can take it. Okay. But let me just really quick. So they have it's 3 catfish, three chicken tenders, dirty rice, and macaroni for $37.43.
Whole catfish fillets or like nuggets?
It don't say what kind of catfish. It's just 3 catfish, 3 tenders,
3 pieces rice, of catfish, whatever piece we decide that day.
$37 is wild.
It's wild. It's wild in our community because we know it don't cost that much. We cook this shit.
That's wild.
We cook $37 right now. We can go get that shit in abundance.
I can get 5 pieces of catfish fillet for less than $20. That's wild.
Pre-seasoned
at HEB.
Shout out to HEB.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're and again, I the grace is now coming because I said it was coming in the middle. I said it was coming at the end. I mean, the beginning. It's going to come at the end, right? They're building a business and starting a business is extremely hard. The fact that whomever we're talking about, because we're not giving names, started a restaurant and has a marquee name on a building for however long that's going to happen is phenomenal.
Right.
That's the Black excellence. That's what's great.
Right.
The execution may be great because I personally, again, I'm never going to the restaurant. I'm never trying the food. I've seen way too much negative responses to customers, bro. These are the people who are paying the bills. Right. Exactly. And I get it. There's 100 people who say your food is amazing. I get it. I'm in the culinary space. I get it. I fucking get it. But I also get that one person, 101, may not like the food. That doesn't mean they're wrong.
Exactly. Everybody has different taste buds, you know, and that's another reason. So when I first started seeing the reviews, I was like 50-50 about it because everybody got different taste buds. Like some people may not like overly seasoned ass chicken, like that. To like, there was one mom and she thought it was okay, you know, and I'm like, you know, I didn't think it was okay, but she thought it was okay.
No, I have a homeboy.
Like she was like she would go back, and I'm like, okay. No,
cool. I have a homeboy who tried to convince me that it was it. He hit me, and he's someone I actually trust. Like culinary. Speaking of what we were talking about off air about like building getting a food truck, he was the guy who wanted me to come in and maybe work with him or kind of consult with him to create the menu and do the food truck part. He was going to do all the financing. He hit me and was like, it was good, bro. He sent me pictures. He's like, the shrimp was all right. This was all right. Like I don't know where the negative stuff is coming from. And I'm like, I don't know either. He was probably the second person who hit my line after the post. So I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. I'm being attacked to go try. I'm being attacked to not go try. I'm being told these reviews is nuts. I'm being told this dude is hitting on people crazy. I'm seeing it all objectively, right? So I know the restaurant business is hard. So kudos to him for starting it. Right. It still has to be kudos to him to finish it.
Exactly.
But he has to still execute.
I think it was the execution. I think it was the execution, the false marketing.
Yeah. Oh, that's nuts.
The false marketing.
Don't do that. Hey, you, whoever you, don't do that, bro. Yeah. Like, it's not hard to take a nice picture these days. Right. Cook your food. Chicken doesn't look any sexier than chicken. Like chicken looks like chicken. Like we know what it looks like. You can't sexy chicken.
Yeah, you definitely can't.
Put that shit on a plate. Get an overview with your iPhone or Android. Take a picture with the sun out. Are these nuts like rollouts where they're doing like the weird like cross video where it's like they fucking like, let's say the balloon pops in the video and then they get splashed with water and they're like, come on down to such and such and such and such. That's all you got to do, my guy. That's
exactly.
Get hit with some fish grease or something, like not heated, of course. We don't want you to burn or anything, but just like do some weird shit. Do some weird shit and make fun, have fun. A lot of this stuff is it's not being fun, and that's why I think we in our society, as far as black people go, like we don't have fun with this shit, bro. We take shit too serious,
too personal, too. You know what? And all honesty though, like I thought that all the negative like comments would actually give the business more clout because either you were gonna try the food or just be another person talking about how bad the food was. But it's like, how can you talk about how bad the food was if you didn't try it? Yeah. And then what if you tried it and you actually liked it? So I'm like, okay, well maybe he can spin it. Maybe he can spin it some kind of way and get people to, at least just get them through the door. Do some free samples of something, right? But hearing you say that you, even after reading all of the comments, that you wouldn't go, it's like, okay, with it puts it into a different perspective because again, as a business owner, you gotta cater to your customers.
You get so people in that ideal of like, let me go see how bad it is or how good it is.
Right.
That's a human like thought process. Like, but the reality is you only get one chance to keep a customer. Right. And that's in any restaurant, whether it's a chain restaurant or not. If you went to Chili's for the first time ever and the server was rude, the drinks sucked, the chicken tenders were undercooked, the mashed potatoes taste like rubber, the broccoli was overcooked, it took you 45 minutes to get the fuck out and it's lunch and you're about to be late or you're late for your job back and you just want to sit down real quick. No matter what it is, that first experience sets the tone. And my personal first experience with this restaurant is the negativity.
Yeah.
It's not even the food. The food is not enough these days with so many options. Back in the day, Pflugerville looked way different when I grew up here. I grew up in Pflugerville, so I'm here, right? So when we first moved here, it was 4,000 people in all of Pflugerville. There was only one Walmart in distance, which is the one in Round Rock.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let's say there's a Taco Bell. There was a Taco Bell. So in those scenarios, if we go to Taco Bell, we have a bad experience. We don't really have any other Taco Bells we can go to. We got to keep going to that same Taco Bell. With the variety of restaurants and places to eat, food trucks, thousands of food trucks around, I don't have to go back there if I don't like it. Like, if I don't like this experience that I'm having right now, I don't have to go back.
Yeah. And I think, too, with this situation, it was like you just had so many different people saying the same thing. It's like, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to try it. But we actually tried it maybe like 3 weeks ago prior to all of this happening. So from the experience that we had, his staff seemed cool. And like I said, I hadn't met him in person or like I said, he's not from here. So, the deliverance.
It's that two-step process. Like, it's how you treat people there and it's how you treat people when they're not there.
Right.
I've gone, so it's not the negative reviews that make me not want to go try it.
Right.
It's the responses. Because I've gone to restaurants where there'd be a dude, he'd be like, damn, there was a hair in my spaghetti. I'm never coming back here ever again. I'm like, well, maybe there's mad hair everywhere, bro. That's your experience. I get it. Did they rectify it? Response from the restaurant: we are so fucking sorry about this experience. If you give us another chance, please come back. We will go ahead and take care of an entree or an appetizer or a dessert on us. Please here's our email. Send us your information. We'll send you a coupon. That's it. I've seen people be in there like, this food is fucking disgusting. It made me sick. I hate this food. This food is nasty as shit. Fuck this food. Response: we are so sorry about your experience. That is not our standard. Hey, if you give us another chance, here's a free dessert. Here's an appetizer. Here is this. Hospitality is an art.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people can break it down to customer service. It's not, customer service is your experience in the restaurant. Hospitality is if something goes wrong, how do you rectify it?
Right.
And he's not rectifying shit.
Yeah.
He's just putting gas on the fire.
Definitely adding more fuel to the fire for sure.
Hospitality. For sure. People go to college to go to be in hospitality, right? It's a communication thing.
Right.
Like if you don't have that hospitality and communication, it's going to fall through every time. Right. So again, the only reason I won't go is because that's not there.
Right.
And it's not begging for customers back, which seems like it's that person's thing, but it's more so of just like ensuring that, hey, you at least get another go at this, because you're not refunding the food or anything like that. They bought it, they're gone. Right? They're going to write the review 2 weeks from later, right, when they got some time. You're not refunding it. You're just saying, hey, come back. Let's make this experience different. Let's know who you are, who had this bad experience, and let's make it different for you. That's all you ever want to do in a restaurant experience. Right. Make it different. If it sucked the first time, how are you as an owner or as a person in the culinary space, how do you make it better?
Yeah. I agree. And definitely don't come to Texas. Don't come to Austin, Texas thinking you finna Bogart shit, because you learned real quick how bad it can get. Yeah. And also, business is not for everybody. Yeah. And we were talking about that off camera, but I don't know why after COVID, everybody felt like they needed to start a business. Everybody didn't need to start a business. Everybody didn't need to open up a restaurant.
I think I agree with you in the sense of everyone shouldn't. Yeah. But I think everyone who did needed that experience to not succeed in a way. Like they started it didn't work out. They pivoted to something else.
Well, and then for me too, it depends. Like I actually, so I'm a business major. Like I actually went and got the knowledge behind what I'm doing. You gonna start a business, actually do the research. Like actually, get the knowledge that you need, learn your target audience, like actually do the market research for what it is that you're trying to do, instead of thinking like, oh, well, hell, such and such business is doing good, so I'm gonna do good. I'm gonna start my thing and just go from there. But you gotta, it's a step-by-step process.
There's work involved. It doesn't happen
overnight for sure.
There's work involved.
Yeah, there's work involved. You can't just open up no restaurant in 2 months to think you finna be the best in the city. It don't work like that.
I'm not a fan of these people who sit in their car and be like, I rate this a 7 out of 4. Who are you? I don't. That's why I don't resonate with people in that kind of space, because now you're giving the power to someone who may not have ever been in the culinary space. Right. Again, like I've unsalted some carrots before. Right. Like I've mismanaged some rice before. Right. That might not have been my best way. I might not have sent that out the kitchen knowing that it was shitty. I like
how you professionally said you fucked up some rice.
Or anything. Like I've sent out, I've been in events where like there's 1,000+ people. Right. I'm sure one of the meatballs, I'm sure one of the fucking chickens wasn't the juiciest, and their experience versus someone sitting next to them wasn't the same. Right. That happens. But the thing is like, if that knowledge is brought to you, that knowledge is so much more valuable than degrading people. Right. Knowing something went wrong, you might have just gained a family of people by correcting it properly.
Exactly. Exactly. That's I 100% agree with that. I think again, this that lack of accountability, and then just saying, you know what, players fuck up too, and just correcting it. And I think that too, like with the comments, like everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but I do feel like overall, while everybody was entitled to their opinion, we could have been a little bit more about the initial feedback, right? Because ultimately, are we trying to keep this person in business, or are we trying to get them closed down? Because at the end of the day, this is somebody, this is how somebody keeping their lights on, right? So I think that there's a way to go about giving that constructive feedback about something,
receiving it,
and so that they can receive it. Because I feel like just any human, if you feel attacked, naturally you're gonna defend yourself, and all that having integrity and character, all of that go out the window when you feel like you got all of these people coming at you, right?
Yeah. And then again, that's a part of doing the research.
Right. He definitely should have learned the demographics. Again, he should have learned the demographics.
Yes. Just the way to speak to humans. First of all, like I've been in kitchens where like someone sent some food back, right? And the cook was like, I would say like the head cook was like, this is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with this, to the chef or to the cook. but they still go out there and be like, I'm sorry, your experience wasn't what you wanted it to be. Here's this, and this.
Right.
Like, there's ways to balance both. Like, you don't have to go back to the kitchen, but the customer hated this shit. This shit was trash. No. Taste the dish. Oh, you did perfectly fine. You're good. This is good. Keep making it this exact way. Keep cooking the shit the way you've been cooking it.
Right.
We're going to go handle the hospitality part of it.
Right.
And make sure that, hey, they know that they're heard.
Right.
And both facets.
And maybe he needed and that's the thing too. Like, I feel like with a restaurant, you need a team. You need a team. You can't try to cook the food, try to run the damn register, try to be the HR, customer service. You can't do all of that. You have to learn how to delegate. And I feel like if he had like a good solid team, the first response that he sent that was negative. He got somebody shutting that down. Hey, we not finna do that. Take that down. This is what you need to put instead, right? Yeah. That just goes to show that you maybe you don't need to be doing. Maybe you don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
You need a better team. You need to go back to the drawing board.
And this is why I'm
is very. This the grace?
I gave grace. Okay. This is at the end. This wasn't what I said it was, but this is why I don't want to focus on the name of the restaurant, because at that point, that just becomes the same thing I hate, which is giving an opinion on something that I haven't tasted. Again, straight from the reviews and responses for the reviews. That's the only thing that I have an issue with. I've heard people say the food's good, so I'm not going to say it's not. So we gave you the spice that I think that the food you had was lacking. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? Was there any feedback or not feedback? Oh, dang. I'm just in like feedback mode now. I just want to be accountable at the moment.
Like I said, I was 50-50 about it. Again, just we could have been a little bit better about the way we gave so that it could be received. But ultimately, business is business. Hey, if you can't stand the heat, then don't get in the kitchen.
I heard they don't get in the kitchen.
It's some dogs out here in Austin.
I heard they don't
and
get in the kitchen.
And they will chew you up online.
Yeah, that's why you got to start a podcast, my guy. Go ahead and start a podcast, my guy. Pod from the restaurant, since you don't cook out of it. Anyways.
I would say go back to the drawing board, try it again, maybe restructure your marketing, make sure you have a solid team, and I would prepare a genuine public statement and try to
and it should go something like this.
Yeah,
I'll be your PR. Yeah. Guys, so I want to say this with the deepest apologies. I'm in dealing with mental illness. I'm going and seeking therapy as we speak. I just want to let you know that I apologize for any and everything I've said. That's not me. People who are around me know that's not me. And I want to continue the support of the people who love my food. And I just know I'm getting better and we're doing this better. And Forepay's coming out next.
Shout out to my 5 followers. Y'all the real ones. Boss Lady Mobile Laundry and Cleaning. On the Can We Talk podcast. Support your people.
Support your people. At the end of the day, support your fucking people. It's all jokes and it's all fun, guys. Like, support your people. Like, for sure. Like, go get whatever you need from whoever you need it from. Right. But support. One support is enough support for a lot of support. So support. Because I
can guarantee, if you go to the Louis store and you have a bad experience at the Louis store, you ain't stopping nobody else from going to the Louis store. It's still gonna be people at the Louis store. So the same way that we give these larger brands grace and second opportunities, we need to do that right here in Black Austin.
Absolutely.
So,
and surrounding areas, because I fuck Pflugerville. We're not Austin, yo. We out here. 78660, yo. What?
I really fuck with Pflugerville. I really do.
I fuck with Pflugerville.
Been treating me real well lately. I ain't gonna even hold you back. Yeah, no, it's good to be on the podcast. I don't get out very, very often, so I use this moment to get out cute and put on my real Steve Madden's. I had a bad experience with Steve Madden's. I still got 10 pairs in my closet,
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. Like, I haven't been doing the pod as consistently as I have in the past.
Drink kicking in.
Oh, it's been kicked in.
Shout out to Double XL strawberry lemonade or whatever that is. I don't even know what flavor that
drink
is.
It is anymore. It tastes like sugar. But no, I haven't been doing the pod consistently just because I only invite people on that I want to talk to.
Yeah.
I don't care about clout. I don't care about nothing else. Just who I want to talk to whenever I want to talk to them. So if you're in that DM, I'm so sorry. It's a no. It's been a no.
What she say? It's gonna be a tough out.
It's gonna be a tough out.
You know.
But yeah, we have some pictures to take, and we can go ahead and end the night because I don't know what we're gonna eat. I don't know what we're gonna eat. I don't know either. But this is the Can We Talk podcast, episode 118. You guys enjoy.